About a month ago, I was frequenting one of my favorite local charity shops and I found this table. I paid $20 for it. Aside from the massive water stain on the front, it didn't look too bad. There was one leg that was twisted a little bit, but I don't think it was tightened properly. Getting it home, I can have a better look and you can see just how bad the finish is. And I mean, it's bad. Like even here where this water stain is, it's gone so long unprotected that it's changed the texture of the wood. So that can cause some issues when you're trying to refinish down the road. Now this isn't all wood piece, but it's not all oak. The top layer is oak, these legs are solid oak, and even though it's not really my style, I actually really like these legs. I have an idea for these. But first I gotta clean this, I gotta strip it and see what we're dealing with. So grab a snack, stay tuned. My name is Angie and I refinish furniture. Sometimes I paint and sometimes I don't, but I always do what I can to save old pieces from the trash. Welcome to my workroom. So for once I don't have 5,000 repairs to make on a piece. Aside from the finish damage, there's only one little spot, this here, that needs to be glued back down, and that's pretty much it. The rest is all just finish stuff. Now this piece at one point obviously had leaves. This would have spread apart, put the leaves in, but no idea where those are. They weren't with it anymore. Normally when I do tables, I like to take these off, but these are so well attached. They're not just screwed down, they're also glued down with intact glue blocks, staples. I don't want to screw with this, and it is, like I said, very sturdy and intact, so I'm going to be refinishing it with these still on. Now I have no idea who made this piece, but I do know that it was made in Canada. I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but I can't just push this down. I have to push it down and then move it forward to get it back into the original position. And it took quite a bit of pressure, so I have to kind of carefully push this down while I wipe off the excess and then add a couple of clamps. Now you guys have seen me do actually quite a few tables lately. And one of my favorite things to do is completely redo the underside. But again, this piece it doesn't really need it. It needs a little bit of a wipe, but I mean, there's no damage to the veneer. I mean, the finish here is super blotchy. It was just kind of sprayed on without a whole lot of thought. But there's really nothing I have to do here aside from clean it up. So after using a chemical stripper to remove all of the intact finish, it was time to tackle that top. And because this was so crusty and brittle, I just opted to scrape it. I can't get away entirely from chemicals in this job, but the less exposure the better, so if I have the opportunity not to have to use them, I'm going to take it. Once I had all of the old finish off, I went in with a 150 grit sand pad. I didn't want to go too aggressive on this. It is a veneer, even though it's a little bit thick, but I know that I'm going to have to do at least one more sanding. Now, because of this stain, I'm going to have to do an oxalic acid treatment, and you want to do that on raw sanded wood, so I'm getting this all prepared for that. I'm not 100% convinced the oxalic acid is going to work in this case. This stain is very well set. It's been there a very long time. You can tell just by the texture of the wood. but we're gonna give it a try. Even if I can lighten it a little bit, I'm gonna have to consider that a win. With oxalic acid, you generally want to apply it to the entire top so that it's uniform, let it dry, rinse it really well, and let it dry again. And this is where we are at that point. You can see it looks a little bit lighter here, but it's actually not. So I'm just gonna do a super light hand sand with the same grit, and then we're gonna hit it with another oxalic acid treatment. So you can see literally as soon as that liquid goes over top, that big dark blotch kind of shows through again, which really is a drag. So after letting that dry again, I'm just giving it a quick rinse, and this half of the table looks great. Any little bits of water damage, if you remember there were a couple like little cup rings, that looks great. But I mean, yeah, this is not great. So I don't even know if I can say that it lightened it any. It still looks the same to me. Nonetheless, we are going to move along. I'm going to do my final sanding here of 180. I just added some pencil lines there so that I could be very clear of where I have and haven't sanded. This is a pretty handy trick when it comes to veneer or really delicate pieces where oversanding would be catastrophic. To sand the profile underneath the tabletop, I'm using this squishy foam pad from Surf Prep on my 3x4 electric ray from Surf Prep. This is going to allow me to sand without removing that profile. And I use the same thing on the legs. So here we have everything completely sanded. Now we just need a plan. If you remember in the beginning, I mentioned that this piece wasn't all oak. This is something you need to watch out for if you're refinishing a piece like this. Quite often the substrate here is another type of wood, whether it's birch or maple. On this table, everything is oak or oak veneer except for this. So that can sometimes affect how your stain works or whatever finish you're putting over it. Okay, so I could absolutely stain this whole top. Stain the legs, stain everything the exact same color, but I think I want a little bit of contrast. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stain the top and I'm going to paint the legs and down here, but I'm going to do it in almost like a paint wash sort of way. Not quite as light as a paint wash, but not completely opaque either. Almost a bit of a distressed look. And I actually found a piece online on Wayfair that I really liked the look of, and I thought it would work really well with the details in these legs. Now I'm just using this for inspiration. I'm not trying to recreate this exactly, but I like this sort of natural looking top with the pale green, somewhat distressed legs. I haven't done anything like that in a really long time, so I thought it would be kind of fun. Now, initially I wanted to go really light, like one of these three colors, but I opted to go with Bellwood, which has just a touch more green, although it is still going to be light. And I should have just enough left in this jar to do this project. For the top, I'm opting to create a custom stain using Odie's oil and the Odie's Creative Colors. This is a really great way to get exactly the color you want. You're in full control of the opacity of the stain, the color of the stain, and in this situation, we're actually going to be layering stains. So to make the base layer, I'm using a little bit of Odie's Safer Solvent, and I'm going to be using Super Duper oil, but I'm going to just stir this up really well first. And I'm using equal parts Southern Pecan, or pecan, however you want to say it, and aged bronze pigments. This is my favorite mix to use on like a mission style oak. It's going to give that really warm color, but that's not the color I want the tabletop to be. This is just going to be a base layer. So keep that in mind as I'm applying it. You're going to see this and think, oh my gosh, it's that warm honey oak that everyone has in their kitchen that, everyone's trying to paint over. This is just the base layer. I'm going to be doing another stain layer over top using titanium white and a touch of green. And it's going to be a really cool effect. I'm going to try to neutralize this and make it look like a paint wash without it being a paint wash. Now to apply the Odie's oil, I used to use these gray Merkur Milan pads. They're 1500 grit. They work great. But this is actually my last piece. I need to get some more, so I'm going to be using this instead. Now this is not what you want to use. That is a completely different thing. You will scratch the heck out of your piece if you try to use something like that. You want a non-woven pad or a super high grit Mercamillon pad. So this little jar is going to be more than enough to do this top. And what I'm going to do with the base layer is just apply it. I'm going to let it soak in for about 10 or 15 minutes. And without completely wiping it back, I'm going to go in with my second layer, and you'll see that in a minute. Okay, so here's where I'm going in with the titanium white mix. Now it's going to look like it's lifting all of the color I just applied. It is going to lift some because it hasn't been wiped off yet, so the excess is going to come off. But if you've ever seen me do like an Algonquin paint wash, that's the color I'm going for here, and I think it turned out really well. So for the legs and the apron underneath the top, I'm going to be using, like I said, Bellwood, which is a very pretty pale green. I'm going to completely cover it with paint, and then I'm going to take a damp shop towel and kind of wipe back certain areas. It's going to give it a little bit of a distressed look without sanding it to get a distressed look. There'll also be some areas I keep the paint a little bit sheer, and in areas where I take too much paint off, you just grab your brush and re-add it. You'll see me do that a couple of times here as I go along. Now while that paint is drying, I'm going to go in and remove the excess Odie's oil. I love the color of this top. It looks like a very neutral paint wash without it being a paint wash, and you know, it's stained and finished all in one go. Odie's oil is completely food safe. It's a tung oil based product. It has great durability, great water resistance. It's resistant to things like alcohol. You know, you spill a drink on a lacquer table, you're gonna have problems. Not so much on an Odie's oil table, and you can see that really pretty soft low luster here. Now you can get a higher sheen with Odie's, it just depends how you sand it. We have Odie's oil on several pieces of furniture in our house, including our dining table. Now you've seen little tidbits and snippets of the top, but we all want to know, did that big stain come out? And the answer is no, it didn't come completely out. You can see a little bit of a dark spot on the tabletop on one side, which really bums me out, but it is what it is. And it certainly is more camouflage now with the new finish on the top. Though I would have loved this stain to have been completely removed, and I could have hit it 100% if I went with a dark stain and added things like toners, but I wanted to keep this light. I feel like this table wanted to be transcended from its original dark finish. I am happy with the table, and I'm happy that it's not, you know, sitting on the side of the road somewhere. Let me know what you think of my flip down below. If you're watching on a TV, I know it's hard to comment, but you could try it on your phone or even hit the like button using a remote. I do that all the time. These little things are completely free and they really help a channel grow and continue to thrive. If you like this sort of thing, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, enjoy the reveal, and I'll see you next time.